Hey everyone, this is Mike with Real Dead, and today I just got through watching Maxxxine, and today is opening day. I know some people got a sneak peek of it a little bit earlier, so this is going to be a spoiler-free at the beginning, and then at the end going to be a spoiler part of this movie review. So my son and I went and saw this. He's 13. It is R-rated. Yeah, it's got some kind of rough scenes at the beginning because if you go back and look at the previous movies with X and Pearl, Maxxxine is about a porn star who's trying to break into, and what I'm saying is in the trailer, so it's not, really a true spoiler. She's trying to break into the film industry. So, just a heads up on that. If you got kids and you're thinking, hey, this is a horror movie, they can see it. There is some, porn scenes, not graphic, but you know what's going on, just ahead of time. Most people probably don't care about that if they're seeing horror, but just let you know if you do have kids and they're around that is part of the movie. Mia Goth is in this. Kevin Bacon's in this. There's many other actors and actresses in here that's got a name in the industry. Acting is good in this movie. So the spoiler-free part of this, the trailer kind of tells a lot. This is more of a mystery movie, not really a horror movie in my opinion. I've said that a lot here recently with movies I've seen this year, it seems like. In my opinion, it seems a little long. It's an hour and 45 minutes or so. I'll put that in the video here. I'll also show the Rotten Tomatoes score between the critics and the audience so far. Again, today is July 5th, the first day it's came out officially. So we'll see what people are saying about it. Last I saw was around a 78 and a low to mid 80 audience score on it. I think it is a good movie. Do I think it's a great movie? No. And I was really pulling for it because, listen, I'm a big Maxxxine fan. You could put 2 or 3 more movies out with her character and I'll go watch it. Mia Goth does an incredible job. I don't think this is her best performance in the 3 movies, though. I think Pearl is probably her best performance. We did watch X last night, and I think you're really well... you do yourself a service if you saw X right before you went and saw this, if you haven't seen it in a while. There's a lot of references back to that. Let me just put it that way. So, yeah, it's a well-acted movie. I do think some of it is a little bit over the top. I love the references back to the 80s. I wish they would have had more references back to the 80s, but it's more of an LA 80s type feel to the movie. But yeah, the storyline is kind of what was expected, murder mystery type movie. Again, not heavy on the horror side of it. What is my overall ranking on this spoiler-free part of it? And it's hard to talk about this movie without giving away spoilers. And the trailer does tell you, quite a bit about it. I would probably give this a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. I do think it's worth seeing. Believe it or not, I probably would have waited. If I knew this movie was the way it was, I probably would have waited to see it when it came out. It's one of those I think you can wait to see it. It's not one you have to go see at the movie theater. Even though, of course, I went and saw it at the movie theater. I was really pulling for this movie to be one of the best movies of this year, and it's not, in my opinion. I think Immaculate was better already, and The First Omen was probably just as good, if not better. Love Mia Goth. Kevin Bacon's character, I think, is a little bit, over the top. But again, now let's jump in to the spoiler part of this video. Okay. So in my opinion, the spoiler part of this video, spoiler alert, I think it was very predictable. Even the last movie, X, when I saw I'm going to come right off the bat and tell you who the killer is. This whole, who is this guy in the black trench coat guy? I knew it right off the bat. I leaned over and told my son, I said, hey, that's her dad. At the very beginning of this movie, they show a preacher, and they showed him in X as well. And even in X, I was like, that's her dad probably. When I watched it again last night, I definitely thought that. I was like, that's Maxxine's dad. Sure enough, that's who the killer is at the end of this movie. That's her dad. That was her as a little girl. and they show that, and then it's so predictable in my opinion. You knew he was the killer the whole time. I felt like it. Kevin Bacon's character, I mean, nothing against Kevin Bacon, he's a great actor. I do think the Louisiana Deep South character he played was just so over the top. I do think I heard somebody else say they thought he was like a little bit of a character, like a cartoonish type character type, player. I kind of feel that way too. I thought it a little bit of a cheesy type feel to it. I don't know that I like that. I love Mia Goth. I love her character. She's such a badass, and I love a badass killer. Female badasses in a movie are just awesome, in my opinion. I wish they'd come out more movies with her as the main character. She's such a badass. I would like to see more of her kicking ass in here. I love one part of the movie where, spoiler here, we're in the spoiler section where a guy's going to, try to take her out. And she says, no, last person that tried to kill me, I stomped on their head. And then she does this, thing to the guy's genitalia that's pretty rough. I love that part of it. I love that, the kills in this, some of the splatter and the gore, and it was not that bad. The very end scene, spoiler alert here, we're in the spoiler section. Man, she's got her dad there, and they kind of go reminisce about what things were like. And she's got that sawed-off shotgun pointed right at him, and she blows his head off. And it's just like somebody took a watermelon and a shotgun and blew it up. I absolutely love that part of the movie. My son even liked it. He was like, yeah, Dad, that's cool. So I really enjoyed that part of the movie. So, yeah, I mean, I do think it got kind of drawn out in this movie a little bit, though. I do think they could have cut 15, 20 minutes off of this. I love the product placement. I love the very beginning of the movie, how they had the writing. I love that, they had the Rat song, music in the background, the whole 80s, vibe, 1985. It throws it right up on the screen. And I just love that part of it. I wish they'd have thrown more 80s type stuff into this movie instead of just the LA scene, which I know it's, based off the 80s in the LA scene. I loved how they had the Night Stalker going on with this at the same time. I just thought it was very predictable. Like I said, right off the bat, I felt like it was her father. He was behind it all. And it was going to be like some kind of cult-like thing. And sure enough, he's going to perform an exorcism at the end of it. And, honey, this is your big acting moment, and don't let me down. And I don't know, it kind of lost me a little bit at the end of it. But I do think it was well worth seeing the movie. I don't know, as I mentioned earlier, if I'd go see it again at the theater. If you just love Mia Goth, yeah, go see it. I mean, it's, $10, yeah, go see it. I mean, you probably enjoy it. I love her character, as I've mentioned many, many times now. She's just a badass. I want to see her kicking ass, though. I want to see her in a movie where she's just balls out, kicking ass, taking names, and just killing like a killing machine. I want to see her in a movie like that. But yeah, tell us what you think. Overall, decent movie. As I mentioned earlier, 6.5 to 7 out of 10. Not a bad movie. Not the movie of the year like I thought. Solid acting job by all the actors involved. I do feel like one thing I forgot to mention. I feel like there's too many characters in this movie. There's so many layers of people you're meeting, and then they're dying, and you're meeting a new cast and new people all the time. I like the Pearl and X where there was a limited number of characters, and you kind of got to know them, and then they killed some of them off, but it wasn't so many people. In this one, you have like detectives, and then you have other detectives, and then you have prostitutes and film people, and they're just always introducing new characters in this. And I know it's LA, it's a big city, but I liked the other two movies when they were just like a smaller cast. You got to know the characters, and then you went from there. That's just my opinion on it. But tell us what you guys think. Please like, comment, subscribe to Real Dead. Anything to do with horror, that's us. We do trailer reactions, movie reviews like this one, NECA collectibles, autographs, anything to horror genre, that's us. Please go and sub to our Facebook page also too. Real Dead Horror Community. We don't have a lot of people in there, but we like to talk about horror movies, horror stuff coming up, horror conventions. We got a couple coming up that Josh and I are going to check out very soon. You guys have a good one. Hope you had a great 4th of July, and tell us what do you think about this movie?